If you're looking to add a little strength to your next print, we're going to go through 6 settings that will help you not only increase the strength of your print, but also maintain the quality. Let's jump right in. The quickest way to strengthen a print is to understand orientation. So I have got an object here, and this is something that I need to print where all of the force is going to be applied from this direction. So from the outside to the middle. And if I slice this, you'll notice that all of these layer lines right here, if I'm pushing against this, I have just this little cube here of strength. And anything that's pushing against this is going to easily be able to break this 1 inch by 1 inch tube. So in order to strengthen this up, I'm going to change the orientation of this object. So I'm going to select the object, grab our lay on face, and select here. And now when I slice this plate, you'll notice that any sort of force that again is applied to this object is applied against this entire length, not just a little section here. So step one, make sure you orient your object in the right way. The second step we're going to cover is our wall loops or the number of walls. So if we go to our strength tab, the very first thing that we can change is the number of wall loops. So in this case, default for most slicers is 2. If I'm trying to print something super strong, I'm going to bump this all the way up to 5. And if we go ahead and slice this plate now, we will see our walls have got a lot thicker. So depending on what your thickness is for each wall loop, you can add quite a bit of strength just by bumping up those wall loops. So those are the first two, really straightforward and simple. Next one we're going to talk about is actually the infill pattern, because our infill does matter. And depending on what slicer you have, you may default to a grid. I don't feel like a grid is super strong, especially if the orientation is off a little bit. So I am going to recommend a couple options here. So number one is just your basic cubic. If I go ahead and slice this, it's going to give me a little bit better wall adhesion all the way around and just gives us a little bit of strength. The second one that I'm going to recommend is the adaptive cubic. Now, if I'm printing something really large, I'm going to save a lot of filament, but still maintain that strength that we get from the cubic. Here, it's not really changing a whole lot of there's not a big difference between the two. The last one I'm going to recommend, and this is something that I use anytime I'm looking for the ultimate strength in a print, is a gyroid. And if we slice this, you'll see it infill is going to change orientation back and forth and create a very, very strong bond. It almost looks like it's solid, even though we're only at 15%. When talking about this infill here, it's important to understand that like sparse infill density doesn't need to go over 15%. Just because I bump this up to 90% and I slice this doesn't mean that I am going to get a whole lot more strength out of this at 90%. My rule of thumb is if I need something really strong, I'm going to go to 20. Other than that, I leave my standard at 15. There's not a lot of reason to ever go much above 20. The next thing that I want to talk about is if we jump under our quality settings, I want to talk about layer height and layer width. When we increase our layer height, so if we go from a 0.2 to a 0.24, and we increase our layer width, essentially what we're doing is putting more filament out at a time, which will allow the object to adhere better. So what we found is the fatter that layer line, both in height and width, the better adhesion we're going to get from each individual layer. So if I am not worried about what a print looks like, I'm going to jump right to 2.4 for our layer height, and I am going to increase the line width from the default. So most of them are going to default around 0.4 to 0.42, depending on which slicer you're using. And if you'll notice, this initial layer is at 0.5, and I have found that I like to set my outer layers to 0.54, just a little bit of an increase here. And that's the one that I really change the most. Every once in a while, I'll just set the default to 0.54, and you can run it that way as well. The fifth thing I want to talk about is our temperature and our cooling. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to jump into the profile of this filament, and a couple things to pay attention to and to understand. So if I am printing and I want something to be strong, if I print it at too low of a temperature, I'm going to create something that is very weak. But if I print something at a very high temperature and cool it really quickly, I'm going to create something that's really brittle. So you have to fine tune this a little bit. So my recommendation is whatever filament you're using, print it at the high end. So in this case, if I am using just a standard PLA, I'm going to change both of these to 210. I've found that to be kind of the high end for most of the PLAs that I'm using. And when I come to cooling, I'm going to slow down this cooling a little bit. So instead of running at 100%, I may run at 75. Seems to be a really good number for just making sure we're getting stuff cooled enough, but not making it brittle by cooling it down too quickly. I'm going to go ahead and save this. So now I've got a new PLA strength profile. And the very last thing I'm going to look at doing is I'm going to slow down our outer walls. Not really worried about anything else, but the outer walls, if we can really slow down that section, I usually like to run them at about half of what the standard is. If your slicer is set to 100, I'm going to drop it down to 50. Where mine's set at 200, I'm going to drop it down to 100. But I usually like to cut that outer wall in half of the standard. If I go ahead and slice that, it's really not going to slow this down a whole lot. My final print for this object is going to look something like this. Should be super strong, especially if we back out a little bit and we understand that any sort of pressure is going to be pushing down on this object. It should be really strong. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you have any questions, make sure to drop it down in the comment, or if you have any suggestions that can help other people out, go ahead and leave those comments down below. If you found this helpful, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Again, thanks for sticking around to the end. We'll see you next time. If you're sick of creating weak prints and want to add a little strength to what you're... Nope, that's not a great one. If you're looking to add a little strength to your next print with some quick tips... No, I like the first part, but we're going to fix that part.